why is friction potentially the biggest reason, in terms of why clients choose to move to another firm? And we see this point I'm about to explain a lot. We get clients who come to us and say, hey, we need help with digital visibility. And often one of the first questions we ask them, or I ask them in that initial conversation phase, is like, what does your intake process look like? Because intake, both from the pre-engagement, but also the post-engagement, once they've actually decided to hire you, what does that onboarding process looks like? How are how are potential clients able to get in touch with you? Do you have a form on your website? The communication roadblocks that firms have historically created, because they don't want to deal with the spam, right? But it is important to make your firm easy to communicate with and connect with, even if somebody doesn't actually already know you. So Jordanna, talk to us about how, like, some of the other ways that we're seeing friction in terms of intake and communication with potential clients, and then once they become clients.
Yeah, I mean, definitely everything that you touched on the intake side. We speak to a lot of firms that also struggle with people answering the phone or what that process looks like once someone does answer the phone. Are they passed to an attorney? Do they get passed to, from reception to intake specialist to attorney? So really kind of thinking about what that process looks like and again, trying to make it as frictionless as possible. Um, on the marketing side, it's interesting. There are a lot of different ways that we kind of see some of these friction points popping up. One way is with the content that your firm is producing, trying to make sure that it is tailored and targeted to the people that you are trying to connect with and have reach out to your firm, as opposed to kind of sending out very blanket legal alerts or things that don't feel as specific to them or tailored to them, can be one way, as well as that content not even being found. So, tying this into SEO and GEO, if you aren't following best practices or doing the things that need to be done in order for that content to be visible and for these potential clients to find it and realize that they want to work with your firm, you're really kind of missing the value that that adds, to their journey. And then even once you get them to the site, a really crucial piece to this is also just the user journey on your website. So if your website is super difficult for people to kind of work their way and explore to find the information that they're looking for, whether that is finding a specific attorney so that they can look at their bio or finding some of that thought leadership content, as well as your service pages and being able to do some of that self-identification, like you were saying, Robyn, and really understand what the firm has to offer. If that isn't there and it's not easy enough for them to kind of find and navigate, that can be a huge, huge kind of friction factor here as well.